Bill Shorten announced our economic plan, and we made very clear our plan for growth, our plan for jobs, our plan for the future is based on a few key principles. One of them is investing in our people, in our schools, in apprenticeships, in our universities. But a key part of our plan is also investing in infrastructure, in road, in rail, and of course in the NBN, because we understand one of the things government can do to improve productivity, to improve capacity, is to invest in infrastructure. And Labor in government demonstrated our commitment to that. Well, again, here in this campaign, Labor is demonstrating our commitment to infrastructure. Mike has advocated long and hard for this, as have many of the local communities. Some of our people are here today. We know that the safety record on this stretch of road is very bad, and we also know that there's a critical piece of infrastructure. So I'm very pleased to be here to make this announcement, and I'll now hand over to Mike.
Thanks, Penny. It's great to have Penny with us here today. She's a strong advocate for infrastructure investment in this country and in rural and regional Australia, and one of the finest minds in the country as well. It's great also to have her here, all of the community advocacy team that really helped me to make my case to our team for this project. This project is very important as part of a regional I have for eden-monaro. The first pillar of that is to restore renewable energy investment to our region. When I was the member, over $1 billion was coming into eden-monaro that dropped off stone cold dead in 2013. Getting that renewable energy investment allowed us to open up the Port of Eden to commercial traffic. That commercial traffic was going to be very broad through southern New South Wales and northeastern Victoria, importing and transporting wind farm components. Also, in getting the NBN rolled out, Bird's Nest in Cooma, a great online company, shows the potential for towns like Yass in doing online commercial traffic, taking advantage of the future of the Canberra International Airport to spread our commerce far and wide internationally. In addition to that, we want to supercharge our tourism in eden-monaro. We need to pull together now as a regional grouping, develop a strategy and make sure that we're taking advantage of the opening up of that airport. That will see, of course, much more traffic through the Barton Highway as we disperse people around our wonderful region and our beautiful assets. We also want to take advantage of these opening up portals and freight operations to make sure our produce gets marketed effectively to the world. We can occupy high-end niche markets with our wonderful produce. This produce can be on plates in our region very quickly through the opening up of the international airport. But a key part of making all that real is delivering on the inland infrastructure that is so important to that. And the Barton Highway is the missing link to that inland infrastructure. In the management strategy plan that was developed with our federal Labor money, it did point the way to a future for the regional economy. But it underestimated, in effect, the kilotonnage that will be coming down this road if we open up all these potential portals to the world. In addition to that, this is a high traffic section of the Barton Highway that really needs addressing urgently. It's one of the highest casualty zones on New South Wales roads. That is why we want to get started on this southern end of the Barton Highway as quickly as possible. And so we're also calling on the New South Wales Government to $19 million towards this effort to make this first stage happen. We'll then look at the future development of this road through future budget cycles. Labor is committed to duplicating the Barton Highway. This will be an exciting development for our region. It'll provide safer commuting for the people that live in this region, and it will also deal with the conurbation effects that are happening in association with the ACT, as I mentioned in relation to our announcement for Queanbeyan and Pallarang infrastructure projects. That conurbation challenge is there, very obvious for us to see. We must keep pace with that with our infrastructure development. So thanks very much for Penny coming. We don't want to rename the highway to Penny Lane, but we'll let Edmund keep his name on the road. But I'm really grateful.
A little more information.
But we're very grateful to the support from my colleagues, and very grateful to the Queener and the community for all the hard work over many years that they have put into this. I know this is a real tribute to the passion of the community, the passion of the people in this region who want to see our economy grow. So thanks very much.
I'd just like to say thank you to both listening, as
together with our very active community push, we've tried to get traction from everywhere for the Barton Highway, and we welcome the announcement today. So thank you to you both.
Thank you. And thanks for those who've come along to see the announcement. So I'll take questions, or we'll take questions, and then I'll turn to other questions, because Rowena might not want to be around for the entirety of the election campaign questions. So any questions on this announcement?
Yeah, 76 million. How many kilometres of duplication will that buy?
Well, the priority is the section of the road that we're talking about, which is between Barton. That's my understanding. Mike might be able to give you a more detailed outline of that, but I would make this point. We're not this is this is a commitment to commence the duplication. It's a commitment which prioritises a stretch of road which has a very bad record with weather
to emphasise that effectively no proper planning and design has been entered into by the coalition government, so it's important that we get that work underway, and only then will we know the true cost of each phase of this operation. Effectively, there are still issues around property purchase as well, so we need to invest money in making that planning process real. And in this proposal there is $6 million for immediate safety measures to improve the highway as quickly as possible from that perspective, but also to begin that planning and design process so we know exactly what we're talking about and exactly how much the cost will be. Then we can keep that planning process going forward to allow us to continue to budget for future cycles knowing the actual costs. At the moment there is about a 47% contingency cost on the Barton Highway, which obviously means there's a great deal to come to the cost of figures. So we'll get that process underway, and we'll start by beginning the process at Section 4 from the ACT border heading north towards Yass.
But you won't be able to get to Mount Bateman for $76 million.
Well, you wouldn't be able to get there anyway as things stand at the moment, so what we need to do is get that planning and design work going, and then in an orderly fashion move forward progressing towards Yass. There's a lot of work to be done around the Murrum-Bateman section, for example, in terms of bypassing Murrum-Bateman, and none of that work has been done. So we can start that, commence that concurrently with getting construction started. The main thing is we're all about duplication. We're not about overtaking lanes. We're going to get this job started.
When are you expecting construction to begin?
Well, I think the planning process and design will obviously take, at least about 12 months, and so obviously this is the easiest section of the highway in terms of that planning design process, so it will be the area that we can get shovels moving as quickly as possible.
And what happens?
I also understand too that the Barton Highway Draft Improvement Strategy was the project is targeting the section as recommended in that strategy. Sorry, next.
What happens if the New South Wales government doesn't commit the funding that you're requesting?
Well, look, what I say is there's more than practice for money into the road projects, which we expect will be, if not matched, certainly there will be a contribution from state government. So this is about 20%. That is a normal expectation for federal government funding. The New South Wales government has been prepared to spend a great deal of money on roads in Sydney. They would hope that they would spend a bit of money on roads here in eden-monaro.
And you've mentioned that $6 million will go into installing smart safety technology. What kinds of things are you talking about?
There's many measures that we can take to improve the safety options on the highway in terms of early signage, electronic signage, etc., monitoring of situations on the highway, looking at the latest technology that we can do, and that's what that $6 million will be directed towards, plus some other improvements on the road itself that will enable us to take some of the key risks out of that commute right now.
How hard did you have to fight for eden-monaro to receive this funding?
Well, it fits in with Labor's overall strategy that Penny has described. Our 10-year plan is built around investing value to the economy, generate growth, and thereby prepare the budget through increased revenue. So there's spending that adds value to the budget strategy, the budget challenge, the tackling the budget repair job, and this is a perfect example of one of those infrastructure projects that will achieve that. That's designed to fit in the budget zone.
Can we expect to see this sort of money in a consecutive 9 years?
Well, you're a good advocate for the region asking that question. Look, I'd put it this way. We've been prepared to put more money on the table because we understand how important this is. The community has made representations, and obviously money is very strong advocate for this. We also understand the importance of the longer term project. What I would point you to is Labor in government doubled the roads budget. We rebuilt some 4,000 kilometres of rail. We have demonstrated how important we think infrastructure investment is. The first thing to do, however, is to elect a Labor government. Any questions of the day?
Senator Wong, if I could just ask you on preferences, is Labor considering giving preferences to the Liberals over the Greens in some seats?
Well, can I say this about preferences? Because I saw Adam Band's announcement today, and make this very clear. What Adam Band from the Greens made clear today is that the Greens political is prepared to help return the Liberal government in pursuit of the Greens' political interests. That was what he made clear today. The only seats that Adam Band was prepared to talk about today were seats that we know, everybody knows, including the Greens, won't change the government. The seats he wasn't prepared to talk about, the seats that will change the government, are Rangamite, Deakin, Bruce, where we know from what Michael Kroger has said, there looks like a deal between the Liberals and the Greens. So I'd say this, we know from today's announcement that the Greens political party are prepared to help re-elect a Liberal government that's done the wrong thing on climate change, that sought to introduce a GP tax, that sought to introduce $100,000 increase. That's what the Greens are prepared to countenance. Their silence on the seats that are required to form government, to change government, speaks volumes.
Just on Adam Bandt's comments this morning, he called on Labor to be upfront and guarantee it won't preference the Liberals and the Greens. What's your response?
I don't know if Mr Bant noticed, but there's a Liberal government in Canberra and we want a Labor government. And what he is prepared to do, made clear by his announcement today, by what he would say and what he wouldn't say. The Greens are prepared to help re-elect a Liberal government that won't act on climate, that will deliver $100,000 increase and a GP tax. They're prepared to do that. That's what his announcement today made clear.
This is going to matter for both of you in the Senate, though, isn't it? You'll need Labor, you'll need Greens preferences.
The Senators, well, I tell you, I've asked a question about the Senators. It's a very important question. I'll say this. The Greens did a deal with Malcolm Turnbull, George Brandis and Eric Abetz before the election to change the Senate voting system to make it easier for the major parties, particularly the Liberals, to get elected. Now, we've got a double dissolution that obviously changes the game a bit, but let's understand the Senate voting changes that the Greens supported. I think everybody knows will have are likely to advantage the major parties, including the Liberals.
But can you clearly